So Huey, now a little time has passed by. When you hear her name, Winx, what does that evoke inside?
Well, obviously a great sense of pride that, and I guess for me it was a journey that, upon reflection, I think about it a bit differently than I did at the time. At the time I was very focused and I continued to grow with the legend that she was. We all did to a degree. So, but now that it's been and gone and, I can look back on it and there's been a bit of time pass, I'm much more relaxed about the whole Winx story now than I was. It took a little while, I must admit, because I think there was a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure that I sort of bottled up and didn't talk about. And I didn't even think I was feeling it at the time, but it took its toll not only on me but my family and those around us. So looking back on it now, I'm just very proud of what she was able to do and the role I played in the achievements that she reached.
Now that time has taken a little bit of that out of it, you can look back. Can you sort of see the difference in her to any of the other horses that you've ridden? And you've ridden some great horses.
When I was riding her, I knew she was unbeatable. And even that thought process went through stages as her career progressed. But, in the end, I knew she couldn't be beaten. All I had to do was keep her out of trouble. But upon reflection and looking back on just how good she was, just the power and, the ability to sustain speed and run at the speed she could, and her versatility, that ability to just travel and pick up and continue to build up and push the best horses to their top was very unique, and to do it as consistently as she did for as long as she did was, well, it was a credit to her because she was an amazing horse, but to Chris Waller and his team and the management of her had a lot to do with that longevity.
Great cricketers, batsmen manage to sort of find their way and score runs on ordinary pitches. Soccer players can kick goals from the most odd players. Rugby league and rugby union players can find their way through a defence. What about the day that the witch's hat came up in front of you and Winx? We doing track work?
Track work. It was either before the Doncaster win or the George Ryder of the same year, and I remember distinctly. Winx had the privilege of working inside the cones. So the cones are set out, for those that don't know, sort of in a section of the track where all the horses gallop between the cones. And Winx had the privilege of working up the inside, so she had fresh ground, and I was enjoying her work so much this Tuesday morning that I forgot to sort of steer around the corner after the winning post, and I was heading straight at the witch's hat, and I thought, well, I can't turn her in because it'll be too sharp. I'll just swing her out and around. But as I went to pull her out, she went to take the corner herself, being as aware as she was, and of course I steered her straight over the top of it. But this was one of the most memorable moments that I had on her back. Was, most horses would either jump it or they would just hit it and knock it over. But Winx had the sense of where she was to just simply pick her near side, her offside front foot over the witch's hat. And I was going quick and she just simply put a foot over it like it was a pothole in the road. It was amazing.
Just amazing. Look, the Winx Stakes used to be called the Winx Stakes. What about when she missed the start?
And the gates open, they're off. The mare's missed the start by 4 lengths.
I get more nervous now thinking about it than I did on the day. And I mean that. There was nothing I could do about that. All I could do from then on was ride the race. They went at a pretty steady pace, so I was able to just tack onto the back of the field without using any energy. Where the trouble for me came was from the 800 to the 600. There was just no pressure put into the race, and it developed into a real sprint home. And at the 300 metre mark, I could see Ecuador out in front. I knew he was the leader. I thought, oh, well, I'm going to get him. So I was nice and relaxed, going through my gears, well balanced first up. But when I got to Ecuador, to my surprise, Fox Play was another length and a half in front. So I had to ask Winx for a little more effort.
Winx is down the outside. It's going to get desperate. Winx is going to fox play. Winx dives. Yes, she got up.
That's one of my favourite films to watch, the replay of her just extending over the final 50 metres to win that race.
Yeah, Darren Flendell needed a few butter menthols after that one. Finally, it's quite appropriate that Winx was broken in at a place called Limitless Lodge by Tim Boland. Just came in an overnight truck for another sale, and then her story is phenomenal. And this next chapter is just about to happen. She's going to have a foal on the ground.
Yes, the foal is due early September, so I guess she'll be back in the headlines momentarily, but I have seen her in recent times, Winx, and she looks very well, very healthy, and she's let down well, and looking forward to the next stage of her life.
Thanks, Hugh.
Thanks, Tim.